Hey guys, I'm Captain Duck, and this is the DFVIDTUTS2012 Part 5. In the previous episode, I told you all about the basic commands and how to build shelter, how to build a bedroom and a dining room, and well, those are still here. But now we need to move on and well, create some food for our dwarves. Our dwarves will need a couple of things to survive: food, booze, and water. With water being the least important, but well, we need to get started and building some things, and to do that I dug out 2 more rooms over here. I still busy with that, and well, let's let the dwarves do that. In the meantime, I'm going to tell you about water, which is the least important thing, but it's also the fastest to explain, so let's do that. And your dwarves will need water. They won't need much of it. They'll need it to heal the sick, basically. Sick dwarves do not drink booze. Other dwarves all drink booze, they all drink alcohol all day long, and so you probably won't use much water at all, but you need to have at least one water source to fix things like this. And well, let's just talk to you about that. And to create a water source, the easiest way, especially in a zone like this, is to create a zone, and that's with the I button. I for zones. No idea why that's an I. And now I'm going to select a water area, and I'm going to select this little pond over here, since that has a lot of water. I could also select a river, but I'm going to use the river for fishing, and the river also might have some nasty animals in it. Well, there's a char at the moment, which is not that nasty, I think, but rivers might have carp in them, and those were monsters back in the day. Not sure how strong they are now, but I think carp still scare your dwarves at least. Anyway, so I don't want my dwarves to drink out of the river for them. I don't want to be scared by carps, so I'm going to make this little pond over here my water zone. And I'm going to select an area, so I press I once, then press enter. I'm going to press enter again. Make a zone which goes completely over the pond, and it'll show like this. Now this is just an empty zone yet. Now you need to set a setting here, and well, this is going to be my water source, so I'm going to press W for a water source. And when I press escape, the bars here disappear and you can see the lake again. And now in the future, when my dwarves are thirsty, when they need to drink, they should prefer this little pond over here instead of the river or somewhere else outside of my fortress. Far outside of my fortress. Also, while I'm doing this, using the zone command, let's queue another one for later. And that's the fishing command, since I will want to be fishing in this river later. And well, now I'm going to select a zone, a pretty big one, and put it to fishing, not water source, fishing with the F key. And do notice that I make the zone way too big. This doesn't matter at all. It actually is needed, because if you make the zones like completely on the water tiles only, it will not work. Your dwarves need a place to stand next to the zone, and that's why I create these giant zones. And so I make sure so my dwarves can stand here on these tiles next to it, and they can reach the water. Remember that. That's something you need to remember when you're creating zones. Okay, so that's water. That's that done. Well, now I need to dig out some little more rooms here, and then we need to set up some farms and some stockpiles. Going to give a game 1 second to finish this. Okay, there we go. Now we have 4 nice little rooms to work with. Well, first thing you notice is that there's some things in here. There's some firefly remains and large roach remains and a crow remains and more large roach remains. This is because of my cats. The cats are hunting vermin, and well, apparently there was some vermin there on the ground, and all the cats killed it, but those remains are lying here inside, and that's a bad thing. Remains like that lying inside can create miasma, which are purplish clouds of of, well, yeah, rot basically. Basically a rotten cloud. If your dwarf walks into that, he won't like it. He'll be disgusted, and that's a bad thing. You don't want that to happen. So what I want to do is I want the dwarf to take this rubbish, this refuse, and I want him to take it outside. And this is what the stockpile command is for. I'm going to go into way more details on stockpiles, but for now, for the start, let's make one little simple stockpile, and that's the refuse stockpile. And that's with the P button, by the way. P for stockpiles, and I was talking about the refuse already, so I'm going to make a refuse stockpile. PR, and I'm going to make it next to my butcher over here, since the butcher will take any other remains and butcher them. So having a refuse stockpile next to the butcher is nice. Also, while we're here, let's add a wood stockpile. My carpenter works with a lot of wood, and the wood could be collected too in a nice little area like this. So here we have a wood stockpile. Now these stockpiles, they work automatically, they work out of themselves, they're really easy. You just set them, and then your dwarves will try to fill them when they have the chance. And well, to show that, let's let the game run for a while. There shouldn't be any other jobs, so hopefully some dwarves should come and pick up those, yeah, disgusting things, the remains. Here they are. They're picking it up, and they're moving into the refuse stockpile. They do the same thing for wood if I had any, so let's chop down some more trees too while we're at it. I'm going to do this fast DT. Select a nice little area of trees, and those will be cut down and be brought to until my wood stockpile here. Okay, that's a primer basics on stockpiles. You can make stockpiles for everything. More in detail about it later, but first let's go on to actually make a farm. And well, as I said, we can do that here in the soil level. Remember that soil is under the ground. I never did explain that earlier in the video, didn't I? Yeah. So soil is under the ground, under the grass. That's the best tip I can give. If you see grass like this, go a level down. The walls are usually like this, brownish or blackish or yellowish. It's sand or loam or clay or anything near that. Sand, lake, loam, or combinations of that. That's soil. That's beneath the surface, and in the soil you can make a farm. You cannot make a farm in gray levels, in rock levels like this. Not normally. You'd need to put water over the farm first, but well, it's a story for another day and not necessary. For now we're going to make an easy indoor farm in the soil level. And well, let's do that. That's with the B menu again. It's a building, B and then P for a farm plot. And well, let's make a little farm plot over here. You know what? I'll make 2. Since that's nice for the future too. And you can make them really big with the buttons again. U, M, key, H. This is like the main menu. U, H and M to make it smaller, or no. Yeah, H and M to make it smaller, U and K to make it bigger. That's it. I prefer to make 2 5x5 areas for my farm, so let's do that. One farm plot here. Let's make another one. Place it next to it here, and well, that would make a nice farm. That needs to be built now. And my farmer dwarf, which is one of my dwarves which I took with me, should build that. Well, I think he's sleeping. Yeah, that's my planter, and he is sleeping. Also, by the way, this whole let's play, it depends on you using my DFVIDTUTS2012 embark. So if you haven't had that and nothing's happening when you build the thing, that's why. I had it embark profile. I've talked about in video 1 and 3 and all about them, so remember that you have to use that to play along at least. Well, you need to set the dwarves, and I'll talk more about setting dwarves in a later video. Now first I'd like this farms built. Yes, there we go. And well, here's my farmer dwarf. He's going to the farm and, well, creating a farm out of it. And that should be done. That's the first one done. Now, when a farm is done, you'll need to set it to be planted. and well, there's a lot of options here. And this is going with the Q menu again, and well, let's hit it. And for a basic Dwarf Fortress player, the first food and basically all the food you should make is plump helmets. Sounds dirty, but it's the food of choice of Dwarf Fortress. Your dwarves love it, and it's very easy to make. So for a new player, make plump helmets all year around. And also notice with this menu we have the option to change the season. So now I'm in the spring season, and in the spring they will plant plump helmets. But if I press B to go to the summer, nothing will be planted, so my farm won't do anything in the summer. So now I have to move to this again with minus and plus and the numeric keypad, by the way. Minus plus, and also turn plump helmets on. Oh, that would enter. And yeah, so now in the spring I'm creating plump helmets, my throat is dying, and in the summer I'm creating plump helmets, and yeah, that's better. So in the spring plump helmets, in the summer plump helmets, I'm going to do it for the rest too. In the autumn plump helmets, in the winter plump helmets. Plump helmets all year round. Sounds disgusting, like I said, but it's okay, really. The other farm, it's done now, but I'm going to forget that for now. Now this farm will be set. My planter dwarf will take seeds when he can and start planting them. Be nice if we could show that before we move on, but well, it's taking too long. Let's move on first, and he'll start planting while we're doing other things. And okay, so now we have a farm, but your dwarves, they will just eat plump helmets normally. But I also took a hunter with me, and the hunter, let's check him. Wrong button. The hunter here, he's having no job, so apparently he's probably out of bolts or something. He is here. He will hunt enemies which are walking around outside, bring it back to your fortress so they can be slaughtered and so they can be eaten, so you have extra food. And to fix that, we'll need a cook, and also we'll need a brewery to brew some booze. So that's the plan now, and well, I have a couple of setups which I like for this, and let's do that. And now we're going to build some workshops again, so BW for the workshops menu, and I'm going to give you a command basically for workshops to build here again. First off, being the still, that's the L button, I think. Yeah, L for still, or otherwise it's here in the menu, L, and I'm going to build it, well, right next to the entrance here. It doesn't really matter that much. Oh, by the way, if you're placing a workshop like this and one of the axes is red, that means a dwarf cannot walk through it. This still is all green, or it should be fine. So I'm going to place it here just in front of the exit, since it will be used a lot, and make the still out of any material. Gabbro is fine. Next thing, we won't use this for a long time, but I like to build it next in the same room anyway, is a farmer's workshop. Build a farmer's workshop. You won't use it for a long time, but build it next to the brewery or the still. Make it out of any material. Okay, that's a brewery and a farmer's workshop. Now the kitchen where your dwarves will cook the food and well, do more with that, tap fat and stuff like that. And again, I'm going to place it here, but now the green axes, the dark green axes are there. Still, dwarves should be able to go in diagonally into this room. So whatever, I'm going to place it here. And I'm also going to build a fishery. That's for the fisher dwarfs I made earlier with the fishing zone. I don't have a fisher dwarf yet. When I do, he'll automatically build a fishery zone. And the same with the farmer's workshop. So don't expect these to finish anytime soon, but you'll be glad you have them later on. Especially the fishery, since that's one which works automatically again. Okay, so that's done. Now the workshops will be built when I unpause. But well, let's show them at least. Now we need to do some more things. Since with food production you also need pots. Well, for brewer at least you can't brew a drink, you can't brew some beer without a container to put it in. And well, that's there's multiple ways to get around it in Dwarf Fortress nowadays. The old way, the normal way, is to make a barrel, a wooden barrel from a carpenter workshop. You can make a barrel like this. Nowadays there's a better way, and that's a rock pot. You can make those from a craft store's workshop, and that's why I've built two whatever. And that's a rock pot. A rock pot that will be made out of rock, and well, it's no problem at all. It's since you have more than enough rock. If I go down all this level, there's so much rock to go around. Also, I should dig out some more rock while I'm at it. I'm going to need a crafting level later. You know what? Let's do that here already. I'm going to give my dwarves a little command to dig out a big room. This will be a big crafting level later. That will give me some rocks to work with too. So what I did here, I didn't even tell about it. And there goes my throat again. Okay, so what I did here is basically press A, rock, and then the rock pot, and you need to select it. Okay, and doing that a lot of times. So you know what? I am going to give another command of build a lot of rock pots, since you need a lot. And you get a lot of error messages when you do not get that rock. We do not do that. We don't have enough even. Okay, so that's rock pots being made, and a couple of barrels to be sure. And down here the shops are all being made. Now I need to set some food stockpiles. So now we're back at stockpiles again. I started here with the stockpiles, with the simple refuse stockpiles, but now we're going into food, and now we need to go into details about stockpiles. As you can see here, there's one stockpile for food, but there's so many different types of food, and there's a couple of problems with having your food all in the same stockpile. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips which I regularly use myself, and that's to make a very specific food stockpile. To do this, I'm going to need a couple of food stockpiles, so let's do that first. First, I'm going to make a big area here. This will be for my plants or everything that comes out of the farm. This small one between here will be for seeds. Any seeds I have will be brought to this little small stockpile. Doesn't need to be that big. Down here, I'm going to create multiple too. I'm going to create one big one for rest stockpiles, rest stuff, and one final one here for fats. Fats are terrible, and you can't make food out of them, but it's ridiculous. So I try to put those far away from my dwarves, and I'm leaving a little strip at the bottom here for nest boxes, since that's the next step for food too. Well, first let's finish the stockpiles and create all that, and finally to finish the stockpiles I need a place for my food to be brought to. And for now I'll select this little room over here. This is my little starting dormitory and dining room even, and this is where this food will be brought to. Well, that's the idea. Now I need to set that at least. And now we need to go into the details with the stockpiles, and that's with the Q menu again. Q to go into details for buildings or stockpiles or multiple things, a lot of things actually. Go to Q, go to move to a stockpile, press S to change the settings. Now we have this giant list, and if I move down to food, we have all the types of food which could be in this stockpile. And well, I want to turn some of them off. This is going to be my seed stockpile, so I'm going to press B to block everything. Going to move to the seeds option, press P to permit seeds, and now this stockpile will only have seeds. And you can see the idea here. This is just one. So this is the seed stockpile. The second stockpile here is going to be my plant stockpile. So again, I'm going to forbid everything with B. Now I'm going to permit plants with P. Okay, that's that stockpile set. Now down here, this is the rest stockpile. I'm going to leave that for the last one. This is going to be the fat stockpile. So same here again. B and have fat here. B. Okay. And my food stockpile over here. Finished food stockpile, and that should be another one, food and drink actually. And I'm going to do that with B again, and I'm going to permit the drinks, the plant drinks and the animal drinks, doesn't really matter that much. I just choose them both anyway. And I'm also going to press U to turn on prepared foods in the stockpile. So it will have drinks and it will have prepared food. Here my drinks and food will go. And now the final stockpile, the rest stockpile. And yeah, here my kitchen will work and do a lot of things. And well, let's set this one. And this one needs a lot of options, but it should not have a couple of ones. Like the seeds I had in that other stockpile, so I'm going to just press F to forbid seeds. Same with the fat, same with the plants, same with the drinks, and also U for the prepared food option. And well, that's basically it already. So now I have my food stockpiles nice and sorted. Also, while I'm here, going to give you one more tip. We're going to set up a chicksplosion now, and to do that we need to change the egg option here. And well, first I need to explain more about that and place the nest box, so 1 second. First let's let the game run for a little while. During this my food will be stored when my dwarves have the time, when they don't have any other jobs to do, like digging out the zone. They should start moving around things, like here's some seeds already coming in, and some fats. Okay, things are being sorted. Okay, so next up is well, next up 3 should be boost creation first. Let me run the or chickens. No, booze and food. Well, let me give you the simple idea. I don't have enough food or booze to create anything at the moment, but you do them from these workshops. Here's the still. I'm going to make brew a drink from them. So still is pretty easy. Go to it with Q, then A, B. Let's queue a couple of drinks here. Same with the kitchen. Go with it to A. Prepare some meals. In the beginning, go for easy meals, but with easy meals you'll run out of. Well, actually, not you will not run out, but your food stockpile here will probably be full at one point, and then you'll be able to want to create lavish foods. But first, for the beginning, I'm going to give this order to create beer, to brew drinks, and prepare easy meals. Now I hope that actually will be done. Let's see if I can actually get a dwarf to do something here. But here, this guy, he's actually preparing an easy meal. So now my dwarves will have food, and when he's done, another dwarf should drag it to this little food stockpile over here. And well, all the dragging seems to be working fine. And here's some other stuff which I took with me, reindeer barrel, milk barrels, and other things like that. Okay, anyway, this is the basics of food and water creation, food and booze creation. Make sure you have pots, make sure you have lots of rock pots or barrels, then brew drinks from a still, or create easy or lavish meals from the kitchen. That's the basics for that. 24 minutes already, I'm not even to the chicksplosion yet, god damn it. Well, maybe I should keep that in a separate video, or... Okay, no, it needs to be in this one since this is food production. Okay, so next part is livestock. For the livestock, I took a lot of chickens with me. Let's find those. With livestock here, here's all the hens and ducks and some rams and drakes, and should be turkeys here too. Yeah, and they're probably all going around my fortress, like here. They're now in this... well, they're going to the meeting hall, since that's what animals do when they don't have anything to do, and Animals usually don't have anything to do. So I'm going to use the animals, the ducks and the chickens to lay eggs for me. And that's why I created those nest boxes last time. So if you forgot how to do that, it's rock nest box. Create a lot of those. And I'm going to place them in my kitchen here, since, yeah, why move the chickens away from the kitchen, since here where they are, where the eggs are going to be cooked. And now I'm going to make a nest box. Nest box is the bottom of the B menu, or capital N, and I'm going to make a couple of them. I'm going to line the wall here with nest boxes. And these nest boxes, well, they're the nest for your chickens. They'll lay eggs in those. So let the game run for a little while, and they'll need to be built. But what I want to do, so like this. What will happen now is when the nest box is built, the chickens will go into it and lay eggs. And the eggs, when they're laid, a dwarf will come and put them in this stockpile, since in this stockpile the option for eggs is on, and the option for chicken eggs should be somewhere here. Yeah, the hen eggs option is on. Same with turkey eggs, same with duck eggs, and we can turn it off. And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to turn off the hen eggs. I'm going to turn off the turkey hen eggs. Now my chickens and my turkeys will lay eggs all they want, all day long, and my dwarves won't take them. And that's a good thing, because since they're not taken, they can hatch. And it'll take a while, take half a year, or maybe even longer in a dwarf year. But when the chicks hatch, you'll have way more chickens. And they're all tamed, and, well, 3 or 4 turkeys, they're very nice too. And they can start laying even more eggs after a couple of years. So it's a very, very nice way to start with your fortress, to have a lot of food available. And also there's apparently some ravens pestering my dwarves, but I really do not have the time to tell you about the military in this video. There's so much time. But I think my hunter here is solving the problems at least, or fighting a king snake, whatever that is, or king snake apparently. And apparently there's also tons of ravens near here. Well, I hope my hunter will take care of that. More about military in a later video. Okay, so some of the nest boxes are being built yet, and here comes the chicken coming to claim it. There it goes. Now it's on the nest box over here, and there's already some eggs in there. God damn, he's fast. With the T button menu, by the way, this is the weird reason. Oh, phone? Guess not. So yeah, the T button here shows items in buildings. It's a very weird button. You'll never ever use it for other things, but when you think there's an item in a building, like this kitchen, well, there's a gabbro in it. This nest box has hen eggs in it, 6 already. So this is the start of my chicksplosion. Remember to turn it off later, or at least for the chickens, for the hens. So later on, when you've got a couple of these, a couple of waves of chickens, like 1 or at least or more, remember to turn on the hen eggs, or they will never be eaten. They will never be taken away from the stockpile. I recommend you keep off the turkey hen eggs. Just keep that off. Just breed all the turkeys you want. Turkeys are very nice. It take a lot of time to grow, but they give a lot of leather and a lot of objects when slaughtered. So create all the turkeys you want and slaughter them later, and you'll have leather for your dwarves to fight in. They'll fight in turkey leather armor, and sounds awesome, doesn't it? Also here I'm getting some cancellation messages again, since I do not have enough, well, distillable items, and not enough barrels enough either, probably. That's a problem for later again. Okay, but I think I've covered all I wanted to do in this video. My dwarves have food, they have drinks, and they have meals, they have booze, and they have everything. Let's take a little here. There's some biscuits, some red meat biscuits. This is one my dwarf just created. A stack of two well prepared red meat biscuits. Nice, with turkey meat and red meat. Here one with cave lobster biscuits. With well minced kiwi tallow and minced cave lobster. How the hell did we get kiwi tallow? I don't know, but maybe there's kiwis around. Dog biscuits with cow meat and dog meat. Yum. Dwarven wine barrel, which has some dwarven wine in it. Stack of 2 wine, what your dwarves drink, and more ale and rum and more ale and some more cave lobster biscuits with cat meat and cave lobster. Yum. So my dwarves now, they have food, they have their nice disgusting foods, and my chickens are breeding. The chicksplosions should be set. Any refuse, any dirty stuff is being hauled outside. Ravens are pestering me, and well, yeah, food production is done. 30 minutes in. So if you set this, you should be pretty much set. Yeah, unless you don't have a water source, but well, you'll have to figure that out later or watch a later video. But with this, you dwarves should have more than enough food. Just remember to give them the orders to make some more drinks and more easy meals every now and then. And you should not starve and not die of thirst. That's the word. So, well, that's been enough for now, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Next episode will probably focus on crafting to prepare for the trading caravan in the future. For now, that's been this food episode. See you guys later.